Hello and welcome to SudoKanard. Let's do another example puzzle from the instruction booklet of this contest that will happen pretty soon on world-class puzzles from the Netherlands. And actually at the time the video goes live, the contest will have begun already. So this one is called consecutive sum Sudoku. And you can see that we have numbers in the margin, which are sums. They are sums of all digits in the column or the row that have all digits that have a consecutive neighbor. For example, this 0 here tells us that no digit in this column has a consecutive neighbor. And I will use a cross here to remember that those digits are non-consecutive. And I will also use a line to note that digits are consecutive. For example, 45 is the sum of all digits, which means that all digits in this column have a consecutive neighbor. So this is happening in those columns. This is also happening on these rows, and not exactly here. This 3 tells us that we will have 1 next to the 2, and those will be the only consecutive neighbors on this column. Likewise, this 5 will be with 2 and 3. This 7 will be with 3 and 4. This 9 will be with 4 and 5. I let you understand why there is no possibility. But I will have to explain it at some point. So let's explain it now. If I try to have, let's say, 1 and 2 as consecutive digits, I'm not sure why we get this warning. I absolutely don't know why we get this warning. This is really weird. I will have to check the settings. Alright, I rectified the settings. As it happens, PenPass saw consecutive in the titled and decided that this would be a non-consecutive Sudoku. This is what I'm guessing. So what I was saying, if you assume that you have 1 and 2, then you must have other digits summing to 6 with consecutive values, and that will never work. Actually, if you have more than, well, 4 and 5 work, obviously. If you have 3 consecutive digits, oh, actually, it could be 2, 3, and 4. So I was speaking too fast. So it could be 4, 5, it could be 2, 3, 4, and I think those are the only possibilities. With 7, I'm positive that 3 and 4 is the only possibility. With 11, I'm also positive that the only possibility is with 5, 6. Well, you just check all sums. Well, 3 digits. With 3 digits, the sum would be a multiple of 3. That's basically the point. With 4 digits, you get an even sum. And with 5 digits, you have a minimum of 15. And for that reason, 13 can also only be the sum of 2 digits, which will have to be 6, 7, and there I said it again. So there will be a lot of 6, 7s in this grid. And with that being said, on this row, I can see that those don't have consecutive neighbors. They are not parts of the sum. Likewise for this 7 here and for this 3 here. Alright, where do we go? And this 7 also here doesn't have consecutive neighbors. So now let's focus more on those. So we get here 5 and 7. Here this is 7 or 9. Here it won't be the 5, so it will be the 6. Those are 5 and 3, so 5 here, 3 there, and then 7 here and 5 there. So that we know now that those two are not consecutive. And those two are not consecutive, those two are not, those two are not, those two are not, and here we don't know yet. So let's see now, somewhere we will have 1, 2, somewhere we will have 7, 8, 9, and 7, 8, 9 will have to be consecutive like this, 7, 8, 9 here, or 7, 9, 8, 9 here because of this 7, so that this is 9. So we have either 1, 2 here and 7, 8, or 1, 2 here and 7, 8. In here, 9 will always be next to the 8. This 3 is interesting. 1 will be next to the 2 somewhere. And 4 in this column will be next to the 3. So we can have 3, 4 like this, or 3, 4 like this. So we have 3, 4 disconnected from 1 and 2. What I mean by that is that 3 is not sandwiched between the 2 and the 4. And we still need to place the 7 and the 9. And so the 7 and the 9 must surround the 8, which means that 3 is here, that's the 4, and we have 1 and 2 there. So those are consecutive, and those are consecutive, which is interesting for this 18. We can place barriers here even though they don't seem to be that useful. And then let's just ponder this 18 clue. So we have 3 and 4, that's 7. We need another 11. And as we mentioned earlier, 11 will have to be 5 plus 6. And 5 is not here. So we will have 5 and 6 next to each other somewhere on this row. And it won't be 5 and 6 are not in this cell. So it will happen somewhere in here. All right, on this row, the consecutive digits are 3 and 4. So I can place something here. Oh, 13. As I mentioned earlier, 13 is 6 plus 7. So that we get the 6, 7 here, and the rest of the row is non-consecutive. So that's a 7, that's the 9, that's the 7, and this 7 is next to a 6, which means that the rest of this row is non-consecutive. And our 6, 7 on this row is somewhere in the middle. And we have one of those digits here. This 6 or 7 is not part of this 9, which is either 4, 5 or 2, 3, 4. And then Sudoku allows us to place a 7 here. We still need 5 and 6 in this column, not in here. It's somewhere in here, so we could have the 6, the 5, and the 6. Or we could have the 6, the 5, the 6, the 5. There's something around here with the 5 and the 6. Not sure where to put them. By the way, I mentioned earlier that we had to place 7, 8, 9 somewhere in here because of this. That's the 7, that's the 8, and here we get 1 and 2. So we get those neighbors. I'm not sure about this 20, we'll come to it in due time. Note that this 3 is 1 plus 2. We don't have 1 and 2 here. We don't have 1 or 2 there. No there. So they won't be here. They won't be here. I mean, those are not consecutive. So the 1 and the 2 will be somewhere in here. That's a 1 or 2, surrounded by another of them. This 5 here goes somewhere in there, which is interesting because 5 is next to the 6 in this column. So 6 is around here. Those are not consecutive. And 6 is not next to the 7. So 6 is actually here in one of those two places, but 6 can still be next to this 7. We haven't resolved what is happening here. An interesting point is that this is 5 or 6, and we know that 5 or 6 must be next to its neighbor. So this is also 5 or 6. Those are consecutive neighbors, and the rest is non-consecutive. We need 3 and 4 somewhere in here. They are not here, they are not here, they are in here. So this is 3 or 4. I still haven't addressed this row. We still need to place 1, 2, 7, 8. No, sorry. 1, 2, 3, and 8 and 9. So we will, and 1, 2, 3, always will have 3 in the middle. That's interesting. So that 3 is here. So we have 1, 2, and 8, 9 on some side of this 3. But this is now a 4 surrounded by a 3 on either side. So we know now that this 9 is not 2, 3, 4. It will have to be 4 and 5. So 5 will be somewhere in one of 2 cells here, and the rest of the column is non-consecutive. So perhaps this is too much pencil marking. You may argue and have a point if you think I'm doing too much. There's a 4 in here. If I put the 4 here, then 5 goes there, and they are consecutive, which doesn't work. So the 4 is here. 4 doesn't go here. next to the 5, so 4 will be somewhere in one of those cells. I'm saying that this is not a 6. I didn't put the barrier here, the border. We need to have 5 and 6 next to each other. So 6 is not here, so there must be a 6 in here. And because of that, the 6 will be somewhere there. So that's not a 6. And this is 6. So we have those consecutive digits here, and the rest of the row is not non-consecutive. That's not an 8 either. It can still be a 5 or 8 or 9. Actually, 5 is not here, and it must be next to the 6 in this column, so that's the 5. And the rest of the column is non-consecutive. Here I need 6, 8, and 9. 8 and 9 are not next to each other, so they are here. There's a 9 here, so an 8 here, so that's 9. That's 8, and this is 6. Those are from 1, 2, and 7. This is not 2. And we know that 1 and 2 are not next to each other. One of them is here anyway. This part needs an 8. It's not in here. Actually, Sudoku tells us that this is 3 or 6, but 3 is not next to the 4 in this column. So 3 is there. And this is 5, and this is 6, and this is 6, and this is also 6. So now the 1 and 2 is here. That's a 1 or 2. Those are consecutive. Those are not. So we have 13, we need another 4. Well, sorry. We have 13, we need another 7, which will be 3 plus 4 in here. So non-consecutive here. But 4 is not next to the 3 because of this, so 4 goes there. All right. But this row still needs 3 and 9. This is not 8, so this is from 1, 2, and 5. I didn't address this 7, which requires a 3 next to a 4. It could be, no, it couldn't be. No, that's not a 4. It could have been a 5. Yes, it could have been a 5. 1, 2, 5, 8. We still need 2 and 3 somewhere in the column. Could be here, could be somewhere here. This column still needs 8, 9, and 3. 8 and 9 are not next to each other, so one of them is here. This can't be 8. This is 3 or 9. There's still a lot to do. We still need 6 and 7 on this row. So one of them is here. And the rest of the row is non-consecutive. 8 and 9, they are both in here and they are not next to each other. So those are 1 and 2 now. Those are from 1, 2, and 4. Those are from 1, 2, 3, 5. This is from 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is from 1 and 2, but let's remember that somewhere in here there must be 1, 2, 3. So this is 1, 2, 3. And here we have 8 and 9. So this is 2. Those are from 1, 3, and 5. I still need the 4 somewhere on this row. It's not here. This is actually a 1, and that's a 2, and that's a 1. This is 7, this is 2. This is 2, 1, 1, and 2. And those are 1, 5, 8. 5 is not next to the 6. And 1 is not next to the 2. This is from 4, 7. This is from 4, 6, and 7. And by the way, we can place a cross here. 5 is 2 plus 3, so we can place crosses here as well. 7 is 4 plus 3, so we can place crosses here. And note that this is not 4, that's the 4. We get the consecutives here. There's a 1 in here, not next to the 2. This is not 8 or 9. This is not 8 or 9. So the second 8 or 9 on this row is here. 1 goes there, that's a 5. And this is 1, this is 8, this is 5. And we get those consecutive digits which sum to 9. That's not a 5 anymore. Those are not consecutive, at least they are not 2 and 3, because they are not 2 and 3. So that's the 3, that's the 9, and 3 is next to the 2 in this column. 4 and 3 here. This column, oh, by the way, Sudoku allows us to resolve that. And this is the 6, it must be next to the 7, so the 7 is here. And all of this is also resolved. This is 3, this is 8, this is 1. All right, here I need 1 and 9. I get 9 here. That's a 4, that's a 2. That's a 3, that's a 5, 3. This is 4, this is 2, this is 4. This is 8, and this is 5, and this is it. Wow. And I can see those 2 digits summing to 7. So this was quite the grind. Perhaps there was no obligation of pencil marking all those consecutive, not consecutive, but it really helped me see where to go next in the solve. So I don't know whether the actual puzzle will be as difficult, more difficult, easier than that. We will have to wait and see. Thanks for watching this video. See you soon on SudoKanard.